Hey everybody, this is Rydis from the Imperium. I want to show you how to get started in H1Z1 and survive your first few minutes of the game. When you first land in Zombieland, you want to make sure you can defend yourself and find food and water to stay alive. In the lower right-hand corner, if you press F, you can toggle your personal stats bar and you will see your position, which in this case is F3. I want to get my bearings, so I press M to bring up my map. F3 is right up around here, so it shows that I seem to be near some kind of civilization, so I press M again to close my map. If I press Tab, I can bring up my character sheet. You can see proximity items here, my character loadout here, with my clothing and all my body attachments, and inventory and item containers here. I'm going to right-click and drop my flashlight, because though it does help me to see in the dark, all my enemies can see me a lot better. If you look at the inventory item containers, you can see that they hold certain quantities of bulk items. The first thing I want to do is drag the bundle of gauze I can use to stop bleeding, the flare I want to save for the future to light fires for purifying water and cooking meat, and this hand-drawn map. I need cloth and wood to make a bow and some arrows, so I'm going to right-click and shred my pants to get some cloth. I'm going to move this cloth out of my shirt to my belt pouch so I can right-click on my t-shirt and shred that too. Hit Tab again to close your character sheet, and once I've done that, I can collect some sticks to craft arrows. When you're in the forest, there are a lot of sticks, but there are two plants that you're looking for. First one is this one that has some long slender stems, white stems with small leaves, and another plant you can get sticks from are these low-lying broad leafy plants here. All you do is move over them, pressing E to collect them. Once you have a few sticks, press Tab to open your character loadout and select the Discover tab. Drag the wood sticks and cloth into the windows and press Discover. You will discover a makeshift bow. You will need to click on the Crafting tab to actually use the materials and craft your bow. You will want something to hold arrows and other things you find, so return to the Discovery tab. Drag the scraps of cloth into the window and discover a satchel that will hold 300 units. Go back to crafting, craft your satchel, and as you can see, I've got my bow and a nice little bag on my back to carry things. I need some arrows for my bow, so I'm collecting sticks. While you're running around, you can press Shift to sprint. You will lose stamina that way, but very slowly, so it's no big deal. You can also press the plus key to auto-run, no hands. Now that I have a few wood sticks, I'll go ahead and open the Discovery tab, drag a stick into the window, and discover wooden arrows. You can only craft one arrow at a time, but while I'm pressing buttons, I want to point something out to you. Look to the right at your inventory item containers. Notice how much more space wood sticks take up. I have 8 wooden arrows that take just 40, and 1 wooden stick takes up all 10. Space is at a premium until you find a bigger backpack, so right now, I like to convert all of them to arrows right away. Next thing you want to do is take a look around. While you're running around, you can notice you can hold Alt to look over both shoulders while you're running, and you get a pretty good view behind you without slowing down. I see a road in front of me, and usually you can follow a road, dirt path, or river to find some remnants of civilization. Next thing you will need, after crafting a weapon to defend yourself, you need to find food for energy and water for hydration. Blackberries are good to start out with and easy to find, so always be sure to collect some by moving over them and pressing E. They only restore about 2% energy and hydration, but they will prevent you from starving to death. If you don't eat or drink, your stamina and health falls to 0 and you will die. Once we've collected some blackberries, you can open your character loadout using Tab, right-click the blackberry, and select Eat. You may have noticed I happened to pick up some branches while collecting blackberries. Those are pretty good for crafting or using as a melee weapon. I can see a zombie coming for me, so I pick up my bow by using 1, 2, or 3, or the scroll wheel to select my weapon, and I like to go into first person by pressing T to use my bow. I wait for a zombie to get in close to me, and just before they reach out, I press Q to push them back for a perfect headshot. Now that I've killed my first zombie, So I move over to the corpse and press tab to check out the proximity container items. I don't see anything lying around, but I do see some all-purpose goggles grayed out. That means I can't pick them up until I hover over the loot bag and press E to pick them up. And if nothing is in your face slot, it will automatically move to that position. I press Alt to check out my new goggles, and now I'm ready to go. I generally like to look in campsites and neighborhoods to find food, water bottles, backpacks, clothing, guns and ammo, and other things. Until you have some guns and ammo, it's best to use terrain and lighting to your advantage, so you can stay hidden and sneak around. You can press C to crouch, which doesn't eliminate your visibility from zombies, wildlife, or other survivors, but you can hide behind solid objects. If you really want to stay hidden from survivors, you can press Z to go prone, and you are really well hidden even if you're only in tall grass, because your character name will disappear when you're in this position. Remember, zombies can see you, and I can hear one now. Press T to get into first person, Q, oh, and he hit me, to push him back, and one-shot him. I have some minor bleeding, so I press Tab, and in my inventory items I select the bundle of gauze, right-click, and unpack it. It gives me 5 pieces, so I right-click and use it. This doesn't restore a lot of health, but this way you won't bleed out until you can craft or find a bandage or health kit. Moving over the zombie's body, I hit Tab, and I notice my arrows are in the Proximity Items tab, so I click those to get them back. I see a cap in the loot bag, so I press E to loot that and right-click to shred it. Note that you can shred it right out of your proximity items, which is handy if you don't have the space. I need some scraps of cloth to make a bandage. Actually, I need 2, so I'll just save this one and use another gauze for now. You do have a few blackberries for energy and hydration, but they don't give you much, so you'll want to find more food and water. I like to find food in houses, campsites, sometimes warehouses and other locations. And while you can drink water right out of a well, you'll need an empty bottle to collect it from the well, rivers, or lakes to carry it with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope this guide helps you survive in H1Z1. I'll see you in game.